I have not beaten Elden Ring. It's a thought that really shouldn't mean very much to me, if I'm totally honest, but I don't know. Recently, I was watching a video by Daryl Talks Games, and the thought just kind of struck me. And then a little more recently, I was watching a video just talking about like the stages of Souls gamers or Souls players, and I realized that I related to that list, and like I knew where I was on that list, and it wasn't completely where I wanted to be. It's moderately embarrassing to say that I related so strongly to a thing about a video game that it made me start reflecting on my life and seeing patterns, but it's what happened, and it's what happens sometimes. I started it super, super excited, like genuinely super excited to get into it because it looked really cool. And, I'm super into like high fantasy and all of that. And as I played, I was riding a natural high. It was the most fun I'd ever had getting absolutely destroyed in a video game. The feeling of growth was awesome. The feeling of learning, the newness of it all was super, super exciting. And then when it became less, oh wow, new, exciting, and more, all right, now let's lock in and, fight our way through, I still had fun, and I still enjoyed it. And I, locked in for a long time. Like I think I have almost 200, I think I have near 200 hours in the game, which, might not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but for me, it's a lot. I rarely spend that much time in any game. And the one that I spent the most time in was Elden Ring. And then, time just kept passing, and I took my time moving through, and I don't think that I did anything wrong. And this isn't me being like, oh, I feel so guilty for not finishing the game within a certain amount of time. No, that's not what this is about at all. That would be stupid. No, the thing that kind of got me thinking was the fact that time stopped me. It's hard to fully explain unless you've been there, unless you've taken on an exciting new challenge. You put everything on the line at first, and you're working hard, and then, as you continue working, you start finding what works for you, and you slip into that little safety, and then, you just use that, and you go and go and go until eventually you stop, and then you look back and you realize so much time has passed since you were doing that thing. And it's not that you don't love that thing anymore. It's that you stopped devoting yourself to that thing. Now, obviously, I'm not just talking about Elden Ring or Souls games. I guess not obviously. I hope by now you've picked up that I'm not just talking about Elden Ring or Souls games, but rather what they represent. I have stopped and started a lot of things in my life that I cared deeply about. Care deeply about. I have a lot of projects, a lot of hopes, a lot of dreams that I have failed to bring to the place I wanted them to get to because I let time stop me. And, there's always good reasons, like, oh, I have to spend more time working at school, or I have to spend more time, taking care of this thing that's important or that thing that's important. I have to work more hours at my job. I have to focus more on more realistic pursuits and all of that. It's always good reasons which draw you away from the things that you want to devote yourself to. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's not. It's honestly a good thing to have stuff in your life that you care about, stuff in your life that you have to give time to, because that means you have a life that you're living and you're in that life. But the problem becomes when you let those things stop you from making your life what you want it to be. Now, I'm not saying to drop all of your responsibilities to go finish Elden Ring, and I'm not saying that you should completely ignore all of your worldly concerns in order to chase some dream, because that would be terrible advice. Sometimes it's just not realistic to do that. Or at least not realistic to do that in the way that you think you should. Or that you want to, rather. But I do think that it's important to look at the things that we keep going back to, the things that our minds keep bringing back up. Because, we have those dreams for a reason. And if you are the kind of person who puts time, energy, research, and all of that into figuring out how to make that dream come true, and into seeing that that dream is a valuable thing that you think deserves to exist, I think that it's worth asking yourself, is it okay for me to dedicate myself to that thing? And that thing doesn't always have to be like, oh, I want to become the next greatest YouTuber, or I want to write the next super famous book, or I want to do something crazy or become famous. No, like that thing can be as simple as just finishing Elden Ring. Goals don't have to be something insane. There are some things that you probably shouldn't dedicate yourself to. Like, should I let myself become dedicated to eating dirt? No, don't do that. But if there is something that you have been wanting to pursue, that you're holding yourself back from, or that you're just kind of letting sit on the back burner until you have time, you have time. You make time. Like if your best friend in the world, or your child, or like your spouse came to you and was like, hey, I'm bleeding, could you get me to the hospital? You'll make the time to do it. And it's the same for all of these pursuits that we kind of look at and think to ourselves, oh, it's not really worth that much, right? Like it can't be. It's just this thing that I'm vaguely interested in, despite the fact that you have a burning passion for that thing. Make time for yourself. Let yourself use time. You have to live your life. So live it well. And it is important that I say well. Don't live it, quote unquote, freely. I think there's a lot of pitfalls that come with that kind of thinking. But I do think that you should live your life well. I think you deserve to live your life well. So, I guess what I'm saying is, I haven't finished Elden Ring. I haven't even bought the DLC yet, despite the fact that it's one of the things I'm the most excited to do. And I am, kind of using Elden Ring as a gate to play the other Souls games. And in that same vein, there are other things that I haven't finished, haven't taken to where I wanted them to go. I am deciding to change that. And if anything I said in this very much a ramble resonates with you, makes you think about something that maybe you haven't taken to where you want to go, then I think you should. Let yourself make time for the things you want to do. Because if you don't make that time, it'll never happen. Thanks for watching. I'm Chandel, and God willing, this won't be the last you hear from me.